moving back in with my parents, and I'm honestly so excited about it. I feel like that's not something you hear people say often. Not that they're not moving back in with their parents, because I feel like a lot of people have done that since the pandemic, but that they're excited about it. I wasn't excited at first because I feel like I had some shame around it, as if like that's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. But once I worked through that, I just couldn't be more excited. I live in SF, but I'm from Cleveland. I realized that San Francisco is not a place that I want to call home any longer, but my job is here. And the only way that I can keep my job is if I stay in San Francisco, and I don't want to. You know where I'm going with this? I don't have a new job yet, so I can't just up and move to another apartment in another city. So I'm going to go stay with my parents. I just couldn't be more excited for the opportunity to just relax. Adulting is hard. Making sure the money is good, making sure I'm fed, making sure I have 3 meals planned for myself every single day, budgeting, working, obviously, all while trying to take care of myself, keep a social life, make sure my skin, hair is healthy, exercising, being on top of my self-care, and just all the other little nuances that come with being an adult. And the amount of burnout that I've experienced is unreal. And I know a lot of you can agree with me on that. My skin is telling me a story. My nail beds are telling me a story. I literally bit them. My hair, it's easy on a day-to-day to tell myself that I'm fine. But it's like, if I really look at myself, I am not okay. I need this time to reset so bad. To be in my feminine, to not be in fight or flight, to truly focus on my well-being. It's hard to focus on any of that when you're just trying to survive. Because I just feel like a huge part of adulting is just not focusing on yourself. The time for that, you have to fight for it almost, And that's just it. I have not been thriving. I have been surviving. And I feel like it probably doesn't look like it from the outside. I still get dolled up. I go on vacations. I take trips. I go on my spa dates, you guys know. But deep down, I am anxious. Deep in my gut, I have a feeling of anxiousness that I cannot shake. And I know that it's because of the constant anxiety that is my life. It's one thing to eat a slice of cake while you're super anxious, but it's another thing to enjoy a slice of cake when you are at peace, okay? It's not the same vibe. You get what I'm saying? I say all this to say that if you are in a space where you're moving back home or you already did it and you feel like shit about it, please don't. Please enjoy it. Please savor it. If it's a safe environment, of course, bask in it. Relax. Do all the things that you have not had a chance to do. And do all the things you can to get your nervous system back in check. And just trust that everything will work out, because it will. You won't be there forever. And there are things that you're going to miss about it when you leave. Okay? Bye.
Why does no one prepare you for how genuinely fucking crazy living with your parents as an adult will make you feel? Especially when you've already lived on your own for a significant amount of time and you end up moving back in with your parents. That shit is so fucking humbling. I was living on my own, with roommates, but on my own, out in Utah, where the rent for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment was $1,500. I paid $500 in rent to have a gigantic master bedroom and bathroom. I wanted to move back to California, where I'm from, so I moved back in with my dad because rent-free. Yeah, I'm financially stable, but at what fucking cost? It sucks because I feel fucking ungrateful. I love my dad, I do. And the fact that I get to live in Orange County, California, which is ridiculously expensive, and super close to LA, which is also ridiculously expensive, and I get my own bedroom and bathroom for literally no rent. Right, I need to be grateful, but oh my god! I hate it here. I'm living in my fucking childhood bedroom. And mind you, I've been living on my own since I was 18 because I got kicked out less than a month after I turned 18. I feel like a kid again and not in a good way. There's very little room for personal growth when you shove yourself back in a cocoon that you have already grown out of. And it sucks because I feel like there's this resentment that builds up. And it's I love my dad. I don't want to resent him. But when he's just there all the fucking time, I have a cat, so I can't keep my doors closed, right? I have to keep my doors open or my cat will just fucking sit there and scream. My dad just walks right through him. I'm a grown woman! You know how long it's been since I can't even sleep the fucking bed! Let alone, God forbid, bringing someone home and fucking them in my bed. I can't do that shit. I'm not doing that shit in my childhood fucking bedroom when I live with my dad. And I've tried to be yo, can you please just fucking not? It's his house. I get it. It's his house. You get up in my bed, oh my god! You know it's bad when the sound of their footsteps coming towards your room fills you with fucking rage. But I feel so fucking bad because it's damn, he is just letting me live in his house rent-free. I'm a grown adult. I should be able to pay my own bills and pay my own fucking rent. Also, inflation. What the fuck do you mean it will cost me $1,500 for one room in an apartment split with multiple people? What the fuck? And I am very lucky in the fact that he lets me leave the house whenever. I can go do whatever the fuck I want. But it's the constant having to check in and having to tell someone, yep, I'm alive. Yep, I'm going here. I'm hanging out with this person. I'm a fucking teenager again. And him constantly coming back to me are you okay? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you need me to do this for you? And it's fuck. I should be grateful, right? I should be happy. I should feel loved that someone cares enough to care if I'm okay and to consider consistently check in on me. And if you've never experienced this situation, then yeah, I probably sound like an ungrateful fucking bitch. But if you have experienced the situation, you know what I mean. It like just slowly drives you crazy because it's like, bro, I'm an adult, but I really just don't fucking feel like one. I miss feeling genuinely independent and feeling like I can take care of myself. I miss getting to have people over and like hosting events and just hosting people. Don't even get me fucking started on the decor because, oh my God, why do all the common areas look like that? I miss being able to decorate and living in like a cute apartment, having any fucking say on anything that goes on inside the house. Mark my fucking words, 2024, my goal is to move back out because y'all, I cannot fucking do this anymore.
I'm turning 29 this year and I'm moving back in with my parents. Let's talk about it. I've been living completely on my own since I turned 25. No roommates for the last 4 years. Really be able to appreciate things a little differently when you have to afford everything on your own. Now, don't get me wrong, I can afford living on my own, but the closer I get to 30, the more and more I want to stop renting and start owning. Let's be honest, in this economy, that is not the easiest thing. Paying rent completely on your own while simultaneously trying to save up for a down payment on a house simply just is not working for me. Oh, is it possible? Sure. But my thought is if I move in with my parents for the next year and save up the $1,500 I've been paying for rent every month, I will be able to buy a house, hopefully by the time I'm 30. I like to kind of destigmatize that because I remember when I was in my early 20s being so desperate to move out of my parents' house. And everybody always told me like, girl, stay as long as you possibly can. It's brutal out in the real world. But it's one of those things that no matter how many people told me, I don't think I was really going to understand until I actually experienced it myself. Again, don't get me wrong. I do think living alone is something everyone should experience. It's so freeing. It really gives you such a sense of self and independence. It's been great for my personal development and making me appreciate things completely differently. I'm actually going to really miss this chapter of life. Even though at first I felt a little bit like I was going backwards in life by moving back in with my parents, I'm starting to see it as such a blessing that I have the relationship with them that I do, to where this even is an option for me and I can fast track those savings by doing this with them. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me as a 29-year-old who's moving back with her parents to hopefully try to afford a house in this economy.
At the age of 32, I finally understand the phrase seasons of life. Like I now get it. As someone that has moved 3 times in the past 4 years and about to move one more time in a few weeks. But luckily this one is only 30 minutes away because we bought a house. More on that soon. But I am someone that strives on routine. Like I am a routine girly, and when it falls apart, I am not fun to be around. I'm a bitch, and like, period. I say it. My husband knows it. My family knows it. But the past 4 years, we've had a lot of changes going on, and you just kind of have to go with the flow. Like I pick and choose what I want to make sure I'm still doing. That's like part of my daily routine. But I just now understand like seasons of life. Like my life has been changing so much in the past 4 years, like every year with a move, and you just kind of have to go with the flow sometimes. And the reason I'm saying this is because I usually love to get up in the morning, like 6 a.m., go to the gym. Like if you've been following me for a while, you know, when I was in Florida, like I had my full routine: gym, cold plunge, coffee, breakfast, reading, like before the workday. And right now, my husband and I moved back in with my parents, while we were looking for a house. And my morning routine is not that at all. Like I stay up till like 11 watching a movie or a show with my mom and dad. I wake up at 7:30. I have coffee time with my mom from like 7:30 to 8. And I was in the beginning like panicking. I'm like, I gotta get back into the routine. I gotta get back into it. And then I'm like, you know what? This might be the last time you live with your parents. Like, just enjoy it. Like, this is just a season of your life where you are living at home. You're spending more quality time with your parents, and it's so important. And like this morning, my mom, like I woke up and she's like, coffee time. I'll meet you in the living room. She's like, this is my favorite part of the day. And I literally started tearing up. I was like, I love this. And you know what? It's not my usual morning routine, but this is just part of my life right now. This is the phase of my life where I'm spending more time with my mom and my dad. I'm sleeping and I'm taking slower mornings. And I know right when I move back in to my house in a few weeks, or when I move into my new house in a few weeks, like I'll get right back into that morning routine. But like, that's just like seasons of life. That is part of the life that I am in right now. And you just kind of have to go with the flow sometimes.
Man, look, Don't listen to what nobody say. If you fortunate enough to move back in your parents' house and start over, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't give a damn if you 25, 30, 35, 40. If your parents been working their ass off their whole life to provide a safe space for you and they not broke, man, move back in with your folks and start over. Half of the time your parents be wanting you to move back. They miss you. Move back, ain't no wrong moving back for 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 months to a year or so to start over. That's what parents are here for. Shoot. Ain't no wrong with that. Ain't no wrong with starting over. See, a lot of y'all be so caught up in what society telling y'all, oh, you grown. You don't need to be moving back with your folks. You need to be figuring it out. Man, forget that. If you ain't got to be homeless, don't be homeless. Half of them folks got to go be homeless and figure it out. But God bless you with some good parents. Man, take your butt home and figure it out, man. Stack your bread. Shit. And then you can't bring kids into the situation because don't let your kids be out here suffering because of your pride. Move back in. She want to see her grandbabies every day. You know, just pitch in with a little bill or two every now and then, help out with food and stuff. But your goal is to ultimately go back home and stack so you can get out. When you get back, don't be out partying and doing all the extra stuff. Just go back, stack your bread, stay out the way. There's nothing wrong with restarting.
It's normal to move back home. I'm moving out today and this is what my home literally looks like. Girl, if you don't want to pack, then don't. I'm in Atlanta and I found Zip Moving and Storage. Baby, they saved my life. They pulled up and immediately got straight to work, like taking down everything, boxing things. Like, this was amazing. Hiring movers to pack and move for you is the best thing you could ever do in your life, baby. Don't never trip about no price. And I mean that because I tried to pack and it just was not doing it for me. Like, watch my YouTube. I tried to pack. I really did. If I packed, I wouldn't have wrapped my couch up like this. I wouldn't have my TV wrapped up like that. It would have just been a whole terrible scene. My entire home was packed up. The glass that I have in my kitchen, everything. I'm a girl that likes to pay people to do my hard work and chores. And baby, this is one of them. This is how I elevate my life. When I say I didn't have to do nothing, this was the best thing I spent my money on in 2025. Now it's time to have a rent-free life with my parents. Like, babe, you could never make me feel bad about this, honey. I might stay forever. I see why y'all people be 40 and still living with y'all parents. This is bliss. You don't have to cook. You don't have to do nothing. I actually had 2 stops and they were so kind to stop at my storage unit because, like I said, I'm moving home and a lot of this stuff I'm gonna need when I move back out. If I move back, they got this stuff done so fast. My whole entire move was under 7 hours. It was 6 hours and some change. They have amazing quotes. They quoted me $900 for all of this work. I told y'all I would put y'all on, so Zip and Moving is for you, babe. I'm excited about this journey and I would love if you followed me along. So hit that plus sign as I elevate my life 10 times more.
You eating with us?
Yeah, sure.
You want some pierogies or shrimp?
Oh, sure. I took the garbage out.
You took the garbage out.
I had a bag of garbage from upstairs.
Oh, I thought you meant I took the garbage out to the curb.
Somebody doesn't speak complete sentences in English. How am I supposed to know what she's talking about?
It's a bag of what you know.
You know what? Eat yourself.
Okay, well, I know. All right, so I'll have nothing. I don't want any of your frozen creepy stuff.
Oh, what Lauren? There's nothing wrong with them.
No. Okay.
Okay. So, what was Venus? The pierogies are...
You need to come back home, baby? Of course you can. Your dad and I would love to have you back. Listen, it'd be just like you staying by yourself. You hardly know we're here. You see the FAA is hiring? Get on USA Jobs today. Don't be coming in here at the wee hours of the night, okay? Next time the door's gonna be locked. Hey, where you about to go? Stop by Albertsons and give me some flour. Didn't I talk to you about paying your credit card bills on time? Miami, if you have Miami money, you got apartment money, okay? For somebody who does not have any rent, you should have a lot more money saved up in your bank account. I looked today. I thought you stopped hanging with him after high school. That boy is up to no good. I don't care if you don't eat here every day. The dishes still need to be done. And there's a load of laundry that still needs to be folded. And look here, don't be drinking and driving. If you need someone to pick you up, me and your daddy will do it. And don't be having nobody in that car smoking dope. Listen, I was in your back seat the other day and I thought yeah, he back at home, girl. It used to be so quiet around here. Mm-hmm. Just lay around all day. Hey, don't stay in that shower too long. The water bill is high already. It's just me and your daddy here. Brenda said her daughter Chastity got on at Lockheed. She just went down there and they hired her on the spot.
Moving home with your parents in your 20s is a really odd thing because yes, I'm saving so much money. It's also really weird because, I used to live in my own apartment. So now when I want to go cook something, I can't just get home from whatever I'm doing and go in the kitchen and cook. Like, I wait for my parents to go to sleep, then I can use the kitchen. Or something as simple as like, I really just want to light a candle. I can't. I'm not allowed to light candles in my house because I'm so forgetful. What if I burn down the whole house? Like, and it's so weird because I've known that moving home with my parents is such a temporary thing. Like, the point wasn't me moving home to stay there forever. It was just to move home for a little bit. I ended up going to cosmetology school and stayed a little bit longer than expected, but all my stuff is still in boxes. So for a whole year, I felt like I'm a guest living in my childhood bedroom, which is no longer my childhood bedroom. It's just a room that I've taped a few things to the wall and everything else is still in boxes and my life is discombobulated and I'm in a stage of limbo because this is not where I'm like actually gonna be, but like I'm working at a pizza place again like when I was in high school and I don't know. Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
Living at home was never the plan, but I have been living back with my mom for the last 9 months now, and I wanted to talk about maybe the biggest pro of moving back in that I think is worth considering if you are in a situation where you could live with family for a short to midterm amount of time. So hear me out. I am a hypnotherapist. I work for myself. It's a one-woman show and I love what I do. I genuinely love getting to work with people in this way. But as with any business, it's not really linear and things are constantly changing and I'm constantly refining what I'm doing to grow my business. And in order to focus on my business or in order to even pursue this at all, when I was living on my own, which I was doing for the last, 6.5, almost 7 years, completely alone, no roommates. I have a cat, but otherwise alone. I was doing so many other jobs. I was a nanny. I was a freelance writer. I was a yoga teacher. I worked part-time as a temp for my former university's admissions team every winter. Like the list goes on and it was so stressful. And I think my nervous system got so used to constantly being in go, go, go mode that I didn't actually realize what it was like to rest. And I didn't realize that I didn't realize it until maybe 6 to 8 weeks after moving back in with my mom. And I was like, oh wow, if I'm tired, I can rest. I can sleep like a full night of sleep if I want to. I don't have to constantly be thinking of how to make this happen or that happen. I don't have to constantly be working, doing this job over here and that job over there. I could just focus on this thing that I really want to work out. And so look, everyone's situation is going to be different, right? You have to figure out what is best for you. There's also cons that go along with moving back in with family as an adult, and we can talk about those in another video if you want. But I think if you are in a position where you really want to pursue a certain line of work or a certain degree or something that is going to stretch you or require you to be super stretched thin by living on your own, if you have the opportunity to live with family or to have some sort of living situation that gives you more stability and more groundedness, I really think it's worth considering.
So if you're living at home, here's a tip. I see so many people moving back in with their parents, and I'm like, y'all, I never left. I did an internship in Florida, came back, I knew this was home. You do this short-term, thing for a long-term investment in the end, right? And I think to myself, I have forever to have my home and my peace and my sanity. That's longevity. Do this for now. So the tip is, you know your parent. Try to be one step ahead of them. So because I'm home, I'm saving tons of money. Whether it's mom or dad, once a month, just do something nice. And it can be so simple. And this will just decrease the arguments and the nagging and the things, that go on in the day-to-day household when you're living with your parents. Whenever you go somewhere, you ask, does anybody need anything? And granted, you might think that's so simple, but you'll be surprised. So many people that are living with their parents, but they live this double life and act as if their parents don't exist, right? So I went to the nail shop like I typically do. My mom was like, can you run a Walmart for me? At first, I was about to say, like, that was not my plan today. But I was like, you know what? Yes. She tried to give me the money for what she needed. I was like, nope, I have it, right? Only because this will decrease the argument in the long run. Not saying I deserve a cookie for being a great child, but I'm just saying it will decrease the arguments if you just do something like once a month. So small. So small. And then be ahead of the chores. Because your parents are only getting older and slower at this point. Not slower as in like mentally, but like their bodies are moving like turtles. So if anything, if there's dishes, I'll already do it. Trash, I'll already do it. I'm like one step ahead. So what is there to even argue about? And then I will plan my life around the things that I have to do. I'm just saying, try it when you go back home so you don't have to argue as much.
If you are fortunate enough to live with your parents or have a situation where like a family member is willing to let you stay with them and you don't have to like really pay rent, and it's a situation that you can actually like tolerate, do it. For the last 10 years of my life, I've been renting and I've moved home like a few times, but this is probably like the most disciplined I've been when I move home, because like I'll move home and I would just like blow money and be out on the weekends all the time, splurging, traveling, just blowing my money and not saving. But this time around, I'm just like in a different stage and phase of my life. And I've actually been saving money for a house. And like, I'm not going to share too much, but things are going well. And like on average, I've been able to save like $2,000 a month living with my parents. I haven't even been here that long, but I just noticed like a big change in my discipline with spending money. Like I used to just splurge and buy stuff and like run up credit card. And I don't do any of that anymore. Like I really do not use my credit card, like unless I actually have to. Like I had an emergency at the vet, use it for that. But the point I'm saying is if you are blessed enough to stay with family members and save your money, like really save your money, because this economy is not a joke. And I just think some people take that for granted. Like I understand wanting your independence and, I feel like everybody like wants the luxury apartment and to live that lifestyle. And it's like, I've lived it, baby. It's nice, especially when you can afford it. It's nice. But I'm just in a different space. I'm about to be in my 30s. So it's like, I want to own something. And I'm just like really proud of myself for like staying the course, being disciplined, making sacrifices. Like everything that I own that was in my apartment is literally in this room in storage. Like I don't even have a real closet right now. As you see, this is like my jewelry and stuff. Like I don't sleep in here. This is just where I get ready. But it's like the fact that I made a really, really big sacrifice to live with my parents, like sacrificing just like more times with friends and stuff because I'm further away from like where my life is. But all in all, I just feel like I'm actually getting something out of this. Like the fact that I've been able to save money, my credit score has gone up. Like I'm in the home buying process. Like it's just like, okay, like it's worth it. Sometimes you got to make those sacrifices because it's worth it. And in a couple months, I'll be having the keys to my house.
I moved back in with my parents like a month ago, after being on my own for like a year and a half. And at first I was super depressed about it because I'm losing my freedom and it feels like such a loser thing to do. But now I don't have any bills to pay. And I actually feel very free. I feel quite free. Yesterday, my mom made me breakfast, baby, and I didn't have to do anything. I feel really good. I feel really good. The whole independent woman thing, it was cute. It was cute while it was cute, but I'm having a lot better time not having to pay rent every month, Nothing is my responsibility anymore. And that's actually goals. So I won't be moving out again until I get married. I'm good with that.
Okay, you guys, I just had to come on here and talk to y'all about why we had to move back in with my parents. I feel like there's a negative connotation with moving back in with your parents, but there's no negative vibes here. We're super close with my family. It feels like a big sleepover. My parents are literally angels. They're so supportive and it's actually such a blessing and we're super grateful. The reason why we moved in is because ever since my husband and I got married, we basically decided At least for the early years of our marriage, we were going to house hack. And I seriously cannot recommend house hacking enough. I think the first 2 years of our marriage, we rented, just kind of got our finances in order. We're saving up to buy something, but we did not start off with a single family. That was not even an option for us. We knew we wanted to buy a multifamily that's stationed in Texas, and they have lots of duplexes there. So we bought a 2-family home, a duplex, and we lived on one side and then we rented out the other side, and most of the mortgage was paid by our tenants. It's like a major life hack. They call it house hacking. And when we moved to Oklahoma, we rented out both sides of the first duplex we bought, and we bought another duplex here in Oklahoma. We're making money on the duplex in Texas, and then our mortgage was very cheap here in Oklahoma. Now we are looking to add a 3rd duplex to our portfolio. I just can't say enough about house hacking. People say, oh, I can never be a landlord, or like, I don't want to deal with the headache of tenants. But if you have a good system where you're vetting these people and doing the background checks, that really shouldn't be a problem. We've had amazing tenants and had great relationships with all of our tenants. If you're buying quality properties, maintaining them, vetting your tenants, then I really can't recommend being a landlord enough. It has really given me a lot of peace of mind about stepping back from working and just having that passive income and kind of leaning on that a little bit more while I've stayed home with my toddler. So just to make the transition easier, we were able to move in with my parents, rent out both sides of our duplex here in Oklahoma. So now that one is paying for itself. We're just able to save up and prep for our next property that we're trying to acquire. Ultimately, the goal is that our real estate portfolio will pay for our single family home when we do settle down and get that dream home, forever home. I know some of you guys commented like, I can't wait to see the new house when you guys move in. I'm gonna be filming from my mom's house for the next few months. She has a nice house. We are not there yet. I just wanted to clarify that with you guys and just bring you along and update you on the journey.
We moved back in with my parents about a month ago, and here are some things that are going well. First and foremost, we were able to save a lot more money than we were previously. We were renting, so all of our money was basically going to rent and bills, and now we're able to put so much more into savings. We're able to prioritize paying down student loans and also putting money into retirement, all while still saving for our biggest goal, which is our down payment on our first home. Aside from just savings, I have so much more help with my son now. I'm a stay-at-home mom. We have an almost 16-month-old son. I live with my parents and my little sister. Just having the extra hands and support. Like, I totally understand why other countries have multi-generational homes, because it really is, it's helpful on all aspects. We are also a 1-car family, so having access to multiple cars living at home has been huge. My parents are so gracious and they let us borrow the car when we can. Like, sometimes I'll just drop my mom off at work and then I'll have the car for the day. One of the biggest ones, honestly, is just the mental reset. Moving back home, I feel like it just allowed my husband and I to kind of take some of that weight that was on our shoulders and just relax for a minute, take a beat, relook at all of our finances, and just give everything a reset. And now we both feel a lot more confident. We have a much more clear and focused plan moving forward, and we're able to actually implement a lot of those things that were in our brain and dreams that we had and just goals that we wanted to focus on. But when you're renting and you feel like all your money is just going to bills and you are just busy. My husband works 2 jobs. I pick up shifts where I can. It just felt like we never got the break to be able to just like sit and be like, okay, what are we actually going to focus on for these next 3 to 5 years? What do we want our life to look like? And when you're just like in that rat race, it's so hard to do that. So moving back home, it really just gave us that space to be able to be like, okay, let's just reset, look at everything, look at all of our finances, look at all of our goals. Where do we want to be and what do we have to do in order to get there? Having to move back home was a huge decision for us, but overall, we are extremely happy with this decision. We already are seeing progress and like we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We know that we will be able to purchase our first home sometime in the near future. And we're just really looking forward to that day while also enjoying the stage that we're at right now.